Today I'm going to show you how to make animations like these that look like someone used an Apple Pencil or some kind of stylus and drew this on your iPad. But actually, these are all line draw animations found in Keynote that you can use with Apple shapes. So here we have Keynote open on our iPad, and we're going to go to choose a theme. And we're going to have a little fun today and play around like a chalkboard. And so we'll come to the top here and we'll choose Portfolio. When that comes up, we're going to come over here and choose the one called Chalkboard. That opens up, and we want to use a blank slide. So in the top right corner, we have our Format Inspector. We'll tap on Layout, and we'll come all the way down here to the bottom and just choose Blank. Now we have a nice blank slide ready to go. We'll go to the top of the screen. We're going to add a shape, and for our first one, we're keeping it really simple, just a line. And then we'll come down here and make this larger. So tap on the top circle and drag it up, tap on the bottom circle and drag it down. Now come over here to our inspector, and for the line style, it's got this nice chalk look to it, and we're going to keep that. Color for this one, we'll keep it white just for our first one, but for the width, we want to make it bolder, easier to see. So we're going to increase this to 40, a nice bold line. You can choose how to have different ends of the line. For the top, we're going to change it to the very simple arrowhead here. And that will be it as far as our format inspector goes. Now I'll come over here, and I have a shortcut in my menu bar for animation. If you want to save yourself a lot of time when you're doing animations, you'll want to add this animation shortcut in your toolbar up here that I have. And here's how you do that. Come over here to the top right part of the screen where you have this circle with the 3 dots, the ellipse, and tap on it. When that drops down, the very bottom says Customize Toolbar. We'll tap on there, and you have the option to add all these different shortcuts to your toolbar. If you don't already have it up there, animation is one that you can just tap on, drag it and drop it, then tap done. And now for the rest of your presentation work, you'll always be able to just go up here and tap animate. If you don't have that, you come over here to the right and then choose animate from the drop-down menu. So it just saves you a step. It's really nice if you're doing a lot of animation like we are today. If you don't have that, you can simply tap on your line and choose animate from the pop-up menu. And we're at the bottom here, we're going to add build in. One of the ones it gives you as an option is line draw. We'll tap on that, and it shows you drawing the line. You have a few options with that. So we'll tap off and then come back down here. For including endpoints, that means the arrow hops on right away. We're going to turn that off so it draws the arrow at the end. We want it to be a little bit faster, so we're going to bring this down to 1 second. And for acceleration, we're going to take the ease in and out off and just have it draw at consistent speed all the way across. Now we can come back out of here. We can hit the play button for a preview. Nice and quick. I like it. So come up here to the top left and tap done. Congratulations, that's your first one. It looks like someone's drawing this, even with a piece of chalk on a chalkboard, but it's actually an animation. Now let's go to a more elaborate shape. Come down here to the bottom left corner, and we will choose another blank slide. Again, when we're on this slide, we'll come to the top, we'll add a shape. This time we'll choose a speech bubble. Again, we'll drag this, make it larger. It already has this chalkboard colored fill on here. We want to add a border to it, and we actually want to take the fill away. So on Keynote, we'll come back over here to the right-hand side, to the very top, to our Format Inspector. That gives us a bunch of options. So we're going to turn the border on by clicking this toggle. We're going to turn the fill off. We swipe over, the bottom right corner, we have no fill. Back up here, and for style, we want this to be that chalkboard look. So we're going to come down and tap on that style of a line. We don't want black. It's hard to see on the chalkboard. We're going to stick with white as we do simple here, but we also want to make it bolder. So we'll go ahead and we can tap away. Use 40 again like we had before. We're going to turn the shadow off because when you write on a chalkboard, we wouldn't necessarily have a shadow. Go up and turn our format off, come back to our screen. So now we have our shape, same thing again. You can customize your toolbar and have this animation shortcut, which makes things a lot easier. Or you can always tap on your shape, and then when the options pop up on that menu, you can choose animate from there on your screen. Come to the bottom for add build in, same as last time, tap on line draw. It'll draw on the screen. We want to have a few settings change, just like before with the line. So come down here, tap off the screen, tap back on line draw. Clockwise, counterclockwise, you can change. 2 is good. We'll bring it down to 1.5 seconds. So it's a little bit faster. Acceleration, we'll turn off the ease in and out just so that it draws quickly all the way around. And now if we tap the play button, it draws that for us. One more thing to note here with your animations is the start. You can make it where it doesn't happen until you're on the slide and you tap your arrow or advanced key, or after it gets to that slide, it automatically happens. We like to do that. So we're going to hit after transition, no delay. That's ready to go. So we'll come to the very top of the screen here and tap done. There. Now we have 2 animations ready to go for you. The next one will make it a little bit more complex, have a little more fun with it. So again, come down to the bottom and add a new slide, a blank slide. Go to the top. This time we'll tap on geometry. We'll scroll up and we'll choose an octahedron. Fun shape here, multiple sides. So we're going to make this larger so it fills our screen more. We'll drag it there. If you drag from the corner, you can keep it where the shape stays the same, doesn't get distorted at all. Now this has made it one shape with 4 sections that are all filled. We want to change the colors and focus on the lines for this shape. With our shape selected, we'll come over here, tap on the paintbrush for format, and under that, choose arrange. You have several options here. You want to come all the way to the bottom to this one that says break apart. This shape is actually made of multiple shapes, and when you do this, you can break them up into individual pieces. That's helpful for us. So now we have 4 different pieces here on our screen to work with. We're going to do something with all of them at the same time, and then we'll customize and make them differently. On the right-hand side here, under Style, we're going to turn the border on. We're going to turn the shadow off, and then we're going to tap on Fill. And again, you can use a fill. For our purposes right now, we're going to keep it simple. So we're going to come down and choose No Fill. Tap out of there. Border, we want all of these to have that chalk look. And so we'll come down here and choose that chalk line. We're going to start with white for all of them. And then we're going to change the color. And then for width, we're going to tap here. We can actually put in the number. We're going to put in 25. Then we'll tap done. It's actually a little bit too bold. So we'll tap here, and this time we'll make it 15. With all of them still selected, we will come up in our menu and choose Animate. If you don't have the menu shortcut added up here like I do for Animate, you can come over here to the circle with the 3 dots, the ellipses, and you can choose Animate. Now the familiar setting comes up. We'll come to the bottom, Add Build In. Again, Line Draw. And you will see it will demonstrate for us how it will draw each of those sections as if someone drew it with chalk on a chalkboard. Now, all those are great. We're going to tap off of that bottom menu. Now we'll come back here and say we want that to be a little faster, especially because we have 4 of them to animate. So we're going to come down and drag this over to 0.7 for each of them. For acceleration, we'll turn that ease in and out off. You can leave it on if you like it. And again, for start, we will choose after previous build. So each of them will happen automatically. Now we'll hit play to see a preview. The order is a little bit strange. I like the speed. Things look good there. So if we tap off and come to the top right of the screen, this bullet list is the order the animations happen. And so while we have this all open, tap on your slide so you're off of those objects. As you tap over here in your bullet list on your main screen, it will show you which one it's going to draw. I want to go from the top left. And so that one is this shape down here at the bottom. So you tap on it and drag it up, put it in first place. We tap on the second one. That's the one we want to draw last, so we'll tap and drag it down. If you happen to drag it too far down, there's a gap over here. You can see there's a separation. If this happens, you look at these first 3 at the top of our screen, and you go to the bottom, it says Start Build. We're going to tap After Transition. Come back up here to the second shape. It says After Build 1, which is what we want. The next one should say After Build 2. This one we dragged down too far, and so it says on tap. All we have to do is go down here to the bottom and tap after build 3. And now we tap off of that shape and hit preview. We'll see all 4 of them in the order we want them. Come here to the top left, tap done. But we separated them for a reason. If we just wanted to animate them like they were, we didn't have to separate them out or break them apart. We want to actually make them different colors. So now if we start with this top left here and come up to our format inspector in the top right, now we have the option to change the color of that line. We'll tap in here, tap color. And so we'll make this one a shade of red. Come back over here, tap the second shape. Again, that inspector is still open. We'll hit color. Make this one a bright yellow. We'll tap the bottom right shape. Again, change the color. Tap on color. We'll make this one a green. And the bottom left, we'll tap on that shape. Come over to color. Tap color here. We'll make this one a purple. And now our shape is 4 different colors, and it will still animate the same. If we were to preview this, So there you have it. So now you can make a shape more complex by breaking it apart into pieces. If we went ahead and changed the color first, you have to go back and animate these and change the style of the line one at a time. You can always tap on part of your screen and drag your finger over all the pieces to be able to make changes to everything at once. And then once you want to do things individually, tap off the shape somewhere on the slide, then you can make changes to individual pieces. Now, we've been leaving the fill out, so it's transparent in the middle here. Let's show you a couple different ways you can draw a shape and have the fill come on. So again, bottom left of the screen, we'll add a blank slide. We'll come to the top and choose a shape. This time we're going to go over into the search menu here. We're going to type in shirt, and it brings up this t-shirt. We'll tap on it. Now we have a very small t-shirt on our screen. So just like before, we'll tap on that image and drag it to make it larger. Tap on the bottom left, expand it down. If you're actually working with this for your final presentation, you can use these guides as you drag it across the screen. The little yellow lines that show up will help you know if you're centered horizontally and vertically. This currently has that default green chalk fill, which is fine, but we do want to add a line to it. And so we'll come over here into our format inspector and we'll turn the border on. We'll turn the shadow off again because again, it looks fine on the screen there. We'll change the style to that chalk line. Color, to be a nice contrast, we'll simply choose white. And then for width, for this one, we're going to say 10. We'll tap done. So now we have this shape that has a fill and the lines. And so when we do our animation, again, you can come up to the top right, tap in the circle with the 3 ellipses and choose animate. Brings up our screen, we'll go to the bottom and choose add build in and line draw. And it gives us a preview of how it will draw the shape and it will just fade in the fill. You can always make adjustments, so we'll tap off of here, come back to the bottom, tap on line draw. Clockwise is fine. The speed, I actually want to make this one a little slower, so we're going to bring this up to 4 seconds. Acceleration, turn that off, just draw it evenly all the way across. And now that should be ready to go. Let's see a preview of it. We'll tap the button. Now it draws our shirt and then adds that fill, which is pretty cool. It has that chalk look. Could you do something besides chalk? Sure. First, we can get out of our animation area. So come to the top left and tap done. Then over here on the left in our slide navigator, we will tap on that slide and we'll come over here and choose duplicate. It makes an exact copy of that previous slide. But now we can change the fill. So we'll tap on that object again, that shape, and the inspector will tap the paintbrush for format. And there's fills you can adjust on here. If we wanted to simply change it to purple or to blue or to yellow, these default ones, it took away our line because there's no border in those defaults. So if we don't want to do that, come up here. This is one of the most handy tools is your undo button. So we'll tap on that. Take it back to where we were. Now we can just tap on fill and it will only change the fill instead of the entire preset. Now we can make it blue or red or purple. This has some default fills that look like the chalkboard itself has been colored that way. Let's say we want to do a gradient fill. Now you can come in here and choose your start color. Maybe we want a bold, bright yellow for the top. We'll tap back and we want the end color to be more of an orange, kind of a fire or sun look. Same kind of a thing. And if we go in here to our animation to see what this looks like, if you tap on here and hit the play button for a preview, it will draw the shape, or in this case our shirt, the same way, and now it will fade in that color fill. And you got a different way to do your shape. Up here and tap done. Now everything we've done so far has been with shapes, but you can actually use this line draw as a fun way for text, especially if you are a teacher, a professor, or a student working with quotes or language, or just a presenter that wants to highlight text. To show you this, let's come to the bottom left, add a slide, and this time instead of blank, there is a quote slide in your format, so we'll tap on that one. And for today, we are going to just simply use a little paragraph that I will type in. You can put in whatever you want. Come over here and tap on the name. We'll double tap my name in there. Then we'll go up. We'll tap on that middle text box where the quote is, double tap. A little shortcut, if you triple tap, it hides the entire quote. We can type in a new one. Normally on a slide, I would never suggest putting this many words on a slide. That's a long quote or phrase there. I would highlight individual words, but should you want to put a whole quote on screen, you've got this text box on your slide. So now we can come up to the top right and we can format this. So we're gonna get the text box first. I want it to be left justified. I want it to be a lot bigger so that there's more on this slide than what we're seeing here. So first thing I'll do is tap on the bottom, the attribution, the person that you were talking about here. I'll go up here into text and I'll make this one 72. It's a great little shortcut, just be able to type it in. I will drag that down to the lower third of the screen. In this text box, I'm actually going to drag it up, keeping it centered with that guide. I'm going to come over here and make it top justified in that box. And for size, I'm going to try 96 and see what that does. Okay, I like that. It's big, it's bold, it's easy to read. Now we can show you where the line draw animation comes in. On your slide, come back up to the top. It will cancel out of our search and go to basic and just choose a line. Now that we have the line on the screen, we're going to make a few changes to it. The style is already set to chalk, which is great for us. We're going to tap on the color, make it a bright yellow, and then it's just not thick enough. And so we're going to go to width and choose 20. Back over here to our slide itself, and we want to highlight the phrase like these. So we'll drag it over underneath those words, and it's okay. It's actually good if it's not perfectly straight. It looks more like you drew it on the screen, and then we'll use our animation. So here we have our text. We'll come up to the top to that little shortcut we have and tap animate, come down to the bottom. Right now it wants to animate the whole slide. So we'll go over and make sure we tap on the line, add build in, add line draw. And really simply, it draws the line across. It's kind of slow for a short line, so we'll tap off of that, tap back on build in. There's no endpoints, don't have to worry about that. We're going to speed this up to 0.7, acceleration, none. Just make it straight. Then for start, for this one, we'll leave it on tap. Let's come up here and choose done. The reason we leave this animation on tap instead of automatically is you might want to bring up this slide, talk to your audience about it, and then you draw attention with the underline. You also can use the same kind of line to draw attention away from or to make it more vividly how things shouldn't be focused on. Copy and paste is a great feature. We've already set up animation, style, everything. So we'll tap on the line and we'll choose copy. Then we'll tap somewhere else on the screen, being careful not to tap on a text box, and we'll choose paste. And it brings up that yellow line that we have. Now what we want to do is cross out the words like these over here. And so we're going to make an X with this, crossing it out. So we'll tap on one corner, we'll drag this up. Then again, we'll do the same thing. We'll tap on that line and choose copy, tap somewhere else on the screen and choose paste. This time we will drag this one up. And when we're crossing something out, we generally want to make it red, like it's not a good thing. So I'll come here to format, go down to color, and we'll choose a nice red on here. That's 3 down. So we'll do the same thing. We'll tap on the other line, color, and choose that to be that 3rd down red. So it's the same. We'll get out of here, click on the format, come over here. We'll tap on the animate button. While we're in here in the animate window, we'll come to the top right and click on those bullets again to bring up all the animations for this slide. We have all 3. Here's what we want. We want the original line draw, the yellow, to be on tap. You can see here at the bottom, because we want to be able to have that show when we're ready for it. These 2 red lines, we want them to start when we're ready for them, but we want the second one to come automatically. So we'll leave the first one set to be on tap, but the second one over here, we're going to tap on it, come to the bottom, and choose after build 2. We'll come out, we'll tap on the screen anywhere, and then we'll go up to the top right and hit our preview button. And it shows the yellow underline, the red crossing out. Perfect. And those will happen when we're ready for them. This is great whether you are diagramming sentences, doing math problems, or simply showing a quote and want to highlight certain things or to cross out or draw attention away from others. The last type of animation I want to show you is more complex, and it has a bit of a drawback compared to Keynote on a Mac, but I'll show you a workaround. We'll go on here to the bottom left and add a new slide again, a blank slide. Once we have this slide ready, we'll come up to the very top and add a shape. And this time we'll use our search again, and this time we're going to type globe. And it gives us a lot of good options. So for this one, we're going to use the North America globe. We're going to drag it out. You can see in the Keynote theme, it really likes this green chalk fill. So here's what we want to do. We want to have it line draw the lines on here, then fill in the shapes, but we also don't want to have it transparent. We want to have a blue background like water. In Keynote on Mac, there's a window over here that opens up for object lists that basically shows you all of your layers. You don't have that for whatever reason in Keynote on iPad. I hope Apple adds that. So what we're going to do is work on multiple slides one step at a time and then put them all together as if the slides were our layers while we're working. We'll take this slide And the first thing we're going to do here is duplicate. Come over to the left-hand side, tap on that slide, and choose duplicate. Then we'll do that again to the next slide. We're going to work with 3 layers, so we want to have 3 slides. Now we're going to work from top to bottom as if 7 was the top, 8 was the middle layer, and 9 was the back layer. For 7 here, we'll tap on our slide. We'll go over here to our format inspector. We're going to turn the border on, turn the shadow off, and we're going to turn the fill off. Again, come in here to the presets and swipe over. The bottom right one is no fill. Tap off of that. And then for our style, we're on a chalkboard, so we want it to be this chalk line. Instead of black, we're going to use white, the most basic chalk color. We do want to make it a little bit thicker. Tap in here. We'll do 5. Nice bold line there. So now we have the chalk outline ready to go on that top layer. We'll come over here to our second slide. For this one, all we're going to do is turn off the shadow. It has the fill already there, which is fine for us. That's formatted how we want it. So we'll come down to our bottom left here, the third layer. For this one, we have to make a shape, and we're going to actually remove this globe. Come to the top, we'll cancel our search, and we'll just choose this circle. We'll come over here to format, and now we actually do want it filled, but not green. We want blue. We'll use that chalk default fill, which looks great. Come back out of here. Don't want a shadow. Now there's 2 things you can do, and I'm going to show you the shortcut to it. You can simply drag this circle. You could mess up the shape, which is a little bit rough here, and you could try to get it to be the exact same size. Or if you tap on our globe shape and go over here to arrange, it will tell you it's 944 for the size, for width and height. So if we tap on our circle shape, you can tap over here and just type in 944 for width, and for height, tap 944. And hit done. It makes it the same size as that shape. We'll also come up here to arrange. We can move our layers front to back. And so we'll drag this one to the back. Now we'll tap on that top shape that we have and we'll delete it. So we just have the round shape there. Now we have our back layer. So we have the water that'll come in below. We have the fill of the continents, and we have the outline of everything. Let's put it all together. We'll tap on this shape and we'll come up here and animate. Come to the bottom. Add build in, our favorite little line draw animation. Really fast. We wanted this to be a little bit more dramatic, so we'll tap off of here, come back down into line draw, and we'll make this, instead of 2, let's make this 8 seconds. Again, depending on what you're doing, you can adjust that. For acceleration, you can have it ease in and out. I'm going to have it turned off. Then we can click on this button and get a preview. 8 seconds instead of 2. It still looked like it was hand drawn and sped up, so that's a great effect there. We're going to leave that one where it is. Come here to the top left and tap done. Now we'll tap over here on our second slide in the set. This one we'll tap on, and for animation, we'll choose our build in. You won't see a line draw animation option unless you have a border, unless you have a line for it to draw. We're going to choose wipe. And it defaults left to right, and so we want it to go top to bottom. So we'll just come in here, and 1 second is fine. Instead of from left, we'll tap on the bottom. This is where it's going to go, and so it will come from the top to the bottom. Tap our arrow to be out, and let's have a little preview. Nice, that was good. While we're in here, we'll tap on that third slide in this set, the water part. We'll come down and tap add build in, and we'll actually choose an effect called iris, where it can fill from the center out or from the out in. It by default goes from the center out. I like that. That was really good. So all of our animations are set. We'll come to the top left here and tap done. Now we have to put them all together. It's very important when you do this, you keep them all in the same location, but in case it gets messed up, I'll show you how to fix it. So let's tap on this shape. And for right now, instead of cutting it, we're just going to copy it. So the menu comes up, copy. We'll come over here to our second shape. We'll tap anywhere on the screen, and we'll choose paste. It's going to paste it on top. But remember, you just come over here, hit that paintbrush for your format, tap on arrange. With that shape selected, we'll drag this to the back. Now we have both those shapes put together. Now we just need the outline. So again, tap anywhere on the slide and then drag your finger across to select both of those shapes. Then tap on them and again, choose copy. We still want to keep the originals in case anything happens wrong. Tap on that first slide, tap on here and select paste. Come over here to arrange. We'll drag these to the back. Now, what would happen if that had been off-centered for some reason? So let's say that we don't have them lined up. That would be very frustrating. To try to drag this into place could take you a lot of time. If your shapes are the same, like we both have these circle shapes, we tap on the one that is in the right place. And over here under Arrange, you can see the X and Y values, 488 and 68. So now if we come over here and tap on this top shape that's in the wrong place, if we go over to our inspector again, tap it, choose 488 and 68, and then hit done, it's now in the correct place. Now we need to make sure all of our animations happen the way we want them to and see what that looks like. So I'll come up here to our animate button. We've already added the animations. This is where that bullet list comes in real handy. We'll tap on this. It shows our animations. Because there's a separate gap here, they're going to be on tap. They're not going to automatically happen. So we'll go down to the bottom and say after transition, go ahead and draw the globe. And then we'll tap on that fill for the continents. And we're going to go down here and choose after build 1 instead of on tap. Then we'll come back up to the circle, to our water, to our iris fill, come to the bottom again, tap after build 2. And now if we tap anywhere else on this slide, we can come up and see a preview of what all that looks like. It draws the shape, the line, the border we had for all the continents in the border. Then it will fill in top to bottom the continents and the water fills in. Top left, done. Now you have what's much more eye-catching than just having that shape on there to begin with. You animate that and draw that, and you could do more with this. When you're done then, you could come over here on the left slide and tap on these slides and delete them because we're done with those. They were just there as a part of the process. That's the workaround for not being able to have the view object list with Keynote and iPad. Is just create multiple slides. Make sure you use your inspector to know where the location is, and it's all set up and ready for you. This video was made because someone was asking questions in the comments section of another video for line animation with Keynote on Mac. And so I made this one to show you what's different with Keynote on your iPad and how you can use a workaround with multiple slides when you can't just simply view object list. Let me know in the comments how you use this or what questions you have, and maybe your idea will turn into my next video. Like always, if you really like this video and find it helpful, give it a like. If you want to see more content when it comes out, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.